Welcome to the Virtual Beatbox Showcase Contest for the Markham Village Music Festival, sponsored by Mayday Fundraising. We want to welcome our co-hosts Cymax and Vino, along with special guests myself, Dan, and Chu.
Yo, what's up everyone? My name's Ghost, I'm from New York, and this is my set for the Markham Beatbox Festival. Can I skip time? Can I skip time? Can I skip time? I'm the main character. I'm the main character. We play aggressive, yeah! We play. We play. I'm the main character.
Okay.
He's like, that was very good.
I think
Really enjoyed that one.
I think I like how he brought, even after the tempo change, he had that melody from the beginning that he brought and used it with different basses, because in the second drop he went with the oh, which I can't do, but
Oh yeah.
it was still pitch accurate. It was still felt like it belonged there. And when he switched to tempo, I was like, kind of like, okay, where are we going? But then when we introduced the melody, it was good. And is that a slizz roll or click roll?
Which one?
Like
Yeah, it's a slizzer roll.
Slizzer roll.
how does he make it sound like that?
He does it really tight, and he just does it really loud. It's like one of the loudest beatboxes I've ever heard.
Yeah. Sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the slizzer roll techniques. A lot of the click roll stuff was really good. It was very consistent. It was very well put together. Thematically, it was I like that he kept the melodies going throughout the whole thing despite the tempo change. Speaking of tempo, the one criticism I have about this was that some of the patterns, especially like the tech transitions and things, were a little off time, just a little bit, but enough for me to notice and like take me a little bit out of it. But his like presence on the video was I greatly enjoyed it. It fit the theme, delivery of the lyrics was really good, and the click roll slizzer roll control really good. It contrasts really well with the chest bass, like the versus very, very good. I enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I mean, when he beatboxes, you can tell it's Ghost, and his presence is super, super, super good. It translates well on video. His piece that he made is kind of like, it's an extended version of, I would guess, the routine is called Main Character or something. Apart from like the timing issues, great choice of sound selection. Obviously there are some like tempo issues. But overall, I think the structure kind of made sense. The drops were intense. The build up to like everything up to that drop, and just like the whole piece that creates the theme is like super cohesive. Maybe my one criticism would probably be adding like, let's say like a sharp sound in there, but I don't think it really matters that much in terms of his sound set. Overall, I think it's a pretty solid video. Yeah.
Good job, Ghost.
Good job, Ghost.
Nice.
Shout out, Ghost.
Very
Top 8
good
in
video.
America. Top 8 in America? No.
Oh,
Top
it's
16.
16.
Should have been top 8, man.
I have to see live though. I've seen
Very
videos.
good.
I've seen
Very
him
good.
do it
Very
live.
good live.
I've seen him do it live, or no, like the videos of him, and I want to see it live. You
Very
can tell in the
nice.
video it's already so loud. So,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Breaks the sound system type thing.
Thank you.
That was an intense 47
One take Jake, this guy. One take Jake.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
Interesting time signature as well.
Should I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
A lot of sounds and a lot of good ideas. Just make sure you set it up first before you go all out with your stuff.
He definitely can beatbox. It's just I feel like the execution just was I feel like was not fully there. I feel like if this was a bit more rehearsed piece, perhaps it would have been executed a lot better. He can clearly do some cool stuff. Like I heard that thing
that sounded really good.
What's his name? The French guy. Sammy Try does that sound.
Yeah.
It's a very unique sound. And I heard snort bass. I feel like, and it was a high quality one. So I feel like if you were able to incorporate that well,
I feel like his special noises were of a higher quality than his basic drum beats.
Yeah, the drums.
Like so, work on the kick, snare, get it loud. That's
for
it.
sure.
Super new school. I mean the sound set is there, right? It's just, fully
put a piece together, perhaps.
Just like being able to put a piece is super different than showing off that you can do every sound that in the book. Overall, I think the execution to do the sounds weren't quite there yet. Like I said, you have the sound. It's just not as polished as we would like it to be. On the same note, you know, you just got to keep going, and you're always going to keep improving. You have it. You just got to really create a piece together and make everything cohesive and give time for each sound to kind of sit in when people listen. But yeah, good job, HMX.
JordoX from Vancouver.
Okay.
Let's go.
Hello, I'm JordoX, and this is my submission for the Beatbox Showcase at the Markham Music Festival.
Nice audio. Ooh.
Atmosphere.
Oh baby, oh baby, ah, oh baby, oh baby, ah, oh baby, oh baby, ah, oh baby, oh baby. Oh baby, oh baby, fire, oh baby, oh
Nice.
That was very good.
That was
That's
very
like
good.
That's like the best JordoX.
Yeah,
we've
I was
ever heard.
about to say that's probably like my favorite. Like I would,
Yeah.
out of all the things I've seen JordoX do, I'd
Yep.
I'd
I've heard
rewatch
him
that the
live.
most.
I've heard him live. I've heard him on video a bunch of times with like produced audio. This is like
Yeah.
the best I've ever heard him do a beat. Wow, that was like really well executed
Yeah.
and like really good. Like his judgment of like how effectively he can use his vocal range, because when he goes yeah, like that was really pitch accurate. Even all like the lip textures were pitch accurate, like really pitch accurate. So big respect to that.
Not to mention the octave jumps going up. Like that's
Yeah.
not easy. That was actually that was still on. Yeah.
Yeah. That was so good. Yeah. Very, very well put together. I feel like in a lot of other like routines of like this similar style of like, you know, showcasing musical stuff, it's very forced. But this felt very like the melody was just, you know, it was there. It was catchy, it was fun. And he like explored the chord progression with different like bass techniques and different sounds. I think like different textures that really worked well with the progression and like the time frame. So I thought it was a solid beat. Very, very well done.
Even I think the technical stuff, not to mention like the notes, melody, whatever. Beyond that, his even his pattern at the beginning and end that he brought back, the whatever, what's that called again? That sound?
Like
What's
the,
the sound?
it's like
It's just like
hi-hat thing.
texture.
Yeah.
It's like a thing
Hi-hat,
with
his
hi-hat
hi-hat texture
yeah.
thing, like that was
Yeah.
rhythmic. That was rhythmic, and he brought it back, and it kind of like tied together everything, even without notes. That was a big part of why I enjoyed it. I think all of his technical stuff was very intentional and like well placed, really well placed.
The small details too, like that, in like
Yeah.
the reverse band, like
Yeah.
that's so good.
That was really good.
really
That was really good. This is really
Yeah.
good. This is really good JordoX routine.
Absolutely. I mean, I like the structure, the piece. It like Vino said, it wasn't forced. It felt authentic. At the same time, also his sound set was so dynamic. The way he's able to like relay his presence from the video, you can tell that everything he does had intention. One of the only things I think I noticed is like there were some parts in like there were some parts where you would expect that same sound, like the like at the end, that you think he would hit it at the end of that bar, but then it wasn't there. So it felt like every other bar there was like a missing element that he introduced in the first half, and since he was bringing it back to the end, you would think that he would keep all those sounds. So that's like a tiny thing.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Recurring motifs. Show me
Yeah.
the recurring motifs.
Exactly. So apart from that, this is like a really well done JordoX like video. I think it's like definitely up there as a piece, like as a whole piece in itself. I've listened to a lot of JordoX routines and pieces, and I think this is the most authentic, and I think this is like one of the best examples in how he can really use his style with the sound set that he has. And
It's really complete.
yeah, it like worked
Yeah.
super well.
Very well rounded.
Also, last comment I wanted to make.
Go for it.
Very nice video presence, because that's one of our criteria. He had his cap and stuff, and at the beginning of the video, he took like
Swagger.
a break, and he hit us with a he swiped his hair while he looked away from the camera.
And it wasn't like
it wasn't
cringe or
wasn't
forced. It was just
wasn't
like-
weird. It was just I was like, this is it's very, very good.
JP from Malaysia, the GBBI.
The guy from GBB, Mr. GBB man.
What up? This is JP from Malaysia, and this is my MVMF Beatbox Showcase 2023.
Stepping in the room, get away, get away, better pay now. Stepping in the room, get away, get away now. I go what you want, I go what you be. Put your hands up, put your hands up. get away, get away.
Fire edit. Fire edit.
He said, "I hope you like my editing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the concepts that he had going on. I like the actual fun highlights. I feel like it's very Discord beatboxer, where it's like really interesting stuff in between, but the transitions are very like, let's just get to the next thing. I do really like it, like the highlights, because like that click roll transition is amazing. The inward bass control and pitching is great. It's just, yeah, I get taken out by like the exact same filler every single time, like he's transitioning. But yeah, I think it was a very solid beat. It's just the transitions felt a little lackluster, but the concepts, like the highlights, are definitely there.
Yeah.
I agree.
The poly stuff that he did was a really nice touch. I felt like that was like the biggest thing for me. And I guess for me, the only thing that took me away was like the lyrics towards the beginning. Was like, okay, it looks like he's only said one of the lines that was supposed to.
Yeah,
be
there's like on the second.
Do I
part, right,
lock
was
it
like,
now?
Did he say that?
Yeah. I was like,
this.
I didn't hear that. So it's either that was an editing mistake, or it was like not so good beat rhyming. But
yeah,
really solid beat, and it was groovy. It was very JP.
It is very JP. Yeah, I think. Sorry, go
ahead. You go.
Okay. I'll go ahead. I think. Let me say the good parts about it. I think his high moments are really high, but his low moments are really low. Just like what Vino said, like the transitions that he did, and like you can tell when the high moments are like really there because they really stand out and he really pops off at it. But when we're taking a look at like a whole cohesive piece, it kind of like you don't really know the direction it's going, and in some sense that's good, like having an unpredictability, but at the same time being able to predict and knowing that like what's coming next, which would be the drop, which is really impressive, kind of brings and ties everything all together. And I think he didn't not execute it like properly, but like he definitely, I feel like he put more thought into the highlight of his drops rather than like everything else in between. Apart from that, I really love the editing. I really love how like engaging the video was. I really love like the style, like it's so like JP style. You know what I mean? And it's definitely like a bunch of highlights that people would love to watch from JP. And he just constantly gives what the people love him for. And what else can I say? Talented beatboxer.
Yeah, super clean. I think all the noises, like there wasn't a single noise that didn't come out right. It was all super clean. In terms of cohesiveness, as mentioned before, I think something for me that would help with that is I felt like the first half of the routine, or the first in the middle-ish, showed off the double voice with like the melody that he built up, but then he kind of dropped whatever song that was and then just moved on to different like song covers. And I think just going on, at least bringing something back, because to me it just felt like first half video was kind of showing off poly voice and some random technical beats, and then at the end it was showing off his special, I don't know what to call that click, but that click
roll type.
Yeah, the click roll, yeah, his click roll thing. And I feel like if there was a smoother transition in between both of them, rather than only exclusively using one in these spots just to show off that one spot, it would help with that. But besides that, like super clean beatboxing, super good, like technically, and obviously insane special sounds that like I'd love to hear. Yeah.
I just want to add two more things. The vocal chopping thing, he's like the
yeah,
it's so clean. It's very well done. But yeah, it's just like overall like the execution wise, it's just, I think all of my gripes with it are just purely compositional, like the way that it was all put together. But yeah,
especially from like what the sounds he has,
yeah,
I could be hearing so much more.
Yeah, even like, look, I'm a guy that does covers, you know, we all do covers over here. I wish he did something more interesting with those melodies, you know, rather than just doing the melody in inward bass. Because like considering what he's able to do, you know, there's so much more he could have been doing. But yeah, good stuff.
All right. Hey, what's up? My name's Pono, and I'm from Hawaii, and this is for the Markham Music Festival. Hope you guys enjoy. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sheesh.
Jeez.
That was a movie.
That's the American
That's
champ.
the best camera I ever seen Pono use.
That was
Oh,
gas.
unnecessarily high quality.
Yeah. He had to flex.
Oh wow.
Everything
That's
was
his
gas.
champ money.
He did get a lot of money for champs. Anyways, yeah, that is very, very solid. I mean, everything is there. It's a very Pono beat. I mean, like inward bass is just so perfect on the mic setup. I really like the transitions. Some of the like all special sounds were there and like they were really well placed. Like the small little like throat whistle detail in between, like as like a transition and like the fillers, even as in the intro, like the so good, so good. My one, maybe no, I have two gripes. My one gripe is the switch into the was a very I personally, it caught me off guard because it's like it's not like the lip bass itself was bad. It just pales in comparison to everything else he's doing in the beat. You know what I mean? Like so that like just comes out of nowhere. And also like it was more of an audio thing, but like I feel like this would have sounded overall a lot better if he did it on like his D5 or something, or on an SM7B, which I know he has. But yeah, like I feel like doing it on like the H4 or whatever was like I think like kind of made some of the sounds, like his throat bass, it made the throat bass sound a lot more empty than I feel like it normally does. But yeah, solid beat. Like it was very hard hitting, and he was really bouncing to it. That's that video presence.
Yeah,
bouncing. Yeah, real. The only thing I would say, maybe not even, as you said, like as a byproduct of the mic that he uses, but also like I think in the video there is just a lot of mids and highs, and I'm only critiquing this just because he did edit it, but just because you edited the audio, some of the higher like the lip roll whistle as well as the throat whistles can be a little bit like tough to listen to, or just too high pitched.
And they were definitely piercing.
Yeah, they're piercing. Yeah, and the kicks and inward bass like definitely just didn't sound like you just were using the right mic for it. But I mean, like, it is what it is. Obviously, like audio is still quite good, and honestly, it's still only a good thing that you edited the audio, whereas I think most people didn't. So it's still great. Obviously, the beatboxing super solid. I mean, yeah, I don't have much else to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, taking a look at this Pono video, it like this is kind of like this is kind of like a showcase battle. This is what it is, a showcase virtual festival, and to me, this is like a fine example of what Pono would do if he would do a showcase. And when you do a live showcase, like this is something like when he did his beat, I'm like, this is something that you would really feel it live. Like the fact that you feel it through video, like his swagger, like his presence and the way he does his sounds, it's like it's super strong, and it's super like, I don't want to put it in a box, but like it's like super American. Like it's like your heart is like out there when you beatbox and you're just like going hard. And I think what comes with it too is like that experimentation factor, which is what he did with the lip bass. And and I do agree that it does pale in comparison to like all the other stuff that we've listened to of Pono. And even me, I was like, wow, he's doing lip bass. That's kind of out of the ordinary for Pono. So I applaud him for like experimenting with new sounds. And I think this whole piece just kind of captures who he is as like the American champion. This is like a video that you can show someone and be like, that's the American champion. And everybody would understand why. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I don't have many words to say. It was very consistent, very solid, very Pono. I did like the little beat he did where I think it was like the
Vortex was so clean.
Yeah. So that was a really nice touch, and yeah, he stayed in the pocket, which is a drummer term, but he stayed like really locked into the groove. You know, he kind of he went with the groove, and you know, he flowed with it. He didn't let the groove take over him. He kind of like guided it and went with it. Because I feel like some people will get lost in the groove and then they let the groove take over them and they kind of stumble on that. But I felt like, you know, his timing was really good. Overall, really solid. If I were to say like one really like minor thing, it's kind of nitpicky, but I felt like it was a bit too consistent structure wise. I felt like it was only like, it was like, you know, you had the beginning and then you had that mid section. It was all really good, but it was like all like here, and then maybe towards the end he kind of went up a little bit, you know. But that's being really nitpicky. But other than that, solid.
He's looking
solid
for
showcase.
Dynamic contrast, but I feel that.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean. I feel like that would like, not like a lot of Pono's beats, but there are definitely some where there's like, because he's just so skilled. It's like you're looking for like moments where it like calms down, so you can like really.
Honestly, if he just like went down, if you just had like a little down moment, you know, that would
to contrast it. Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Contrast it. But yeah.
See you in Hawaii, Pono.
See you in Hawaii.
What up? It's Remm from Guelph, Ontario, and this is a huge shout out to the Markham Village Virtual Music Festival. When I was a young boy and I heard the bass kick, then I heard the hi-hat, then I heard the tape deck spinning like the earth inside of my mom's car, made me wanna rip the building and you know my stuff is grimy, prepping for the 1990s, you know what damn, it's Mr. Carter Creme, I'm country crank man, hot. Mr. Carter, get them hands up. Great. No. Go.
Okay. Nice.
Remm. Yeah, wow. That was something. That was something, all right.
Carter Remm classics.
Carter Remm classic for sure. I mean, one of the things that I like about Carter is how much he's leveled up since, because we've known him for a while, and we've seen how far he's come, and I think the piece, this is definitely like one of his stronger pieces. It's so like iconic in terms of Carter Creme. I like the sound set that he uses. I like how he's always pushing himself, and you can tell that there's like certain segments where he wants certain techniques to be highlighted. But on the same note, like there's always that inconsistency in terms of flow, in terms of structure, and in terms of like the cleanliness of the technicality. For sure it's there. The skill is there. However, the intensity, I don't think it's quite there. I feel like if you added a little bit like intensity, like you made us kind of like making us believe that this beat is really, really, really super hard, can go a long way. And that all comes from like body language. It seems like this was more of a how do I say it? It was a planned set, but it didn't look like it was like a I have it in the bag type moment set. However, like I like all the pieces that he did. I like all the things, all the sequence of beats that he did. The ideas are very, very good, very advanced. But yeah, apart from that, I think if he just like strung everything together, and I think the choice of sounds too, because there are sounds that he did in some of the highlights that he did, and I think there were other sounds that I would prefer he would use that I know he knows because he did it at the last beat. Just messing around with like the dynamics and the sound selection to make your beat sound more full while at the same time sounding consistent can really put your piece together and making it sound full and consistent. So big up.
Yeah, like for me, the biggest part here is I feel like in this one he really this was like he lost himself a bit in the groove towards the end, especially towards the end actually. And kind of like I could see what he was trying to do with like you said, like with some of those patterns, but you know, I didn't hear it coming out from him. Also another thing is I've heard, especially the beginning, I mean the routine he does first, I've heard him do that like quite a lot now, and I feel like, I don't know, the beat rhyming especially at the beginning hits a lot harder on video than it does live. I feel like when he does live, it kind of like, you know, all the lyrics and the beats kind of get all mushed together, and it's kind of like this one mushy paste, if that's
definitely like a mic technique thing.
But this one on video, like the beat rhyming was like really good, and everything was like, you know, it was nice, and that was a nice touch. But yeah,
I would actually disagree with that, on the sense that, like, I think just because I know what the lyrics are and I've heard him do it before, I kind of know what the lyrics are, so like I'm able to fill it in. But I feel like if I was an audience member, there's a lot of words that were like not clear enough, or not super, it wasn't super clear to what he was saying, and like under his bass as well. I'm not sure if I was a person that didn't know this routine already beforehand, I would be able to tell what the lyrics are or what he's saying. I do agree that that I think on video the lyrics hit better than live for sure. But I think like just my point of critique would be just think about how your routine translates to like an audience or someone who doesn't have the context of the routine. I think also a lot of things in terms of like presence can be improved on. So like I think like when he was doing like the technical beat at the end, and the next like he just stopped and went no, and then leveled it up. He kind of just said like no, and then just then leveled it up. But he could, like, you could put more energy into it, because it's like it's a hype moment. You wanna translate that to the audience, and I think like that could be improved. Just showing that you're into it and you're feeling the beat, because I think expression and like vocal, like when you decide to speak and say something, I didn't feel that energy as much as other people. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
I think that every part of this routine is filled with very high level concepts, very high level transitions, very high level techniques and sounds. Like these are like even like if he like just sent this to me, he's like, I'm ghostwriting a routine for you, and you know you can perform this as like a skeleton, it would be hard to execute for me even. That being said, like, do you know, like, because you guys are all beatboxers, you know, like when you're executing like a pattern that you know that like pushes you to like your limit, you have to like clench your butt cheeks to do it, and like after you do the thing you're like legitimately tired. I feel like he needs to do that more. He needs to like learn how to like put in the 110 at like the moments where you need to. Like when he's doing like the like you really need to clench for that. Like to like it's like when I do OD bass, like I know that's gonna make my jaw tired afterwards, but I have to flex my jaw as hard as I can to do the sound. I feel like he's like, for whatever reason, like strategically conserving like mouth energy to like make it easier on himself, but like you kind of have to sacrifice that, you know, in order to like do certain sounds. That's why like some of the techniques might not come out as full as they maybe could, because he's not like putting in the 110 and maybe only putting like 95 only. But yeah, like again, it's like these are like poly plus the layering, and then like the like that's really 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 tough to do. Like it's a very very ambitious routine, and it's very very like these are really complicated and high level concepts. So I really respect the composition. It's just more about like really hunkering down and executing it as effectively and as cleanly as possible.
Last thing I have to say off that, conserving energy, on that like note, obviously push yourself when you have to. On that really fast ending, you kind of have to put it all in. But I think there's a lot of places where you're not saving energy where you could. Like even at the very beginning, I think like it sounds like you're trying to pop those K snares as hard as you can, and I hear a lot of I hear a lot of and I hear a lot of
error.
And I also hear like when he was trying to match with the voice, like the like it was also inconsistent there. So like maybe intentionally do it quieter at the beginning so you can have the energy to do it intentionally hard at the end.
Yeah,
that's
There's a lot of human error that you can just cut out, but it's great.
Yeah, it's still like
solid
as a whole
beat.
routine. I like it.
Very solid beat.
It's good.
Solid.